Hey guys, just here to talk about belief in God here for a little bit. And having belief in God is not justified. Here's why. The only way you can really justify it is if you base it upon biases, feelings, which are instilled by your parents. And the first question I think that people should ask themselves when trying to find the truth is, what method are we going to use? Often in religion you hear about faith. That's not really a good way. It's just an assertion. By definition, there is no method to determine a good idea from a bad idea within faith. So what ends up happening is it's completely based upon biases. Because if there is nothing to guide you in your thinking, where are you going to go? Where you want to. And so here, how this relates to belief in God is this. Most people, I don't think, know what that means. What the word reason means, like even where to start. I think the first thing to understand is that when dealing with claims, there's something called the burden of proof. When you positively assert something, if I say that I have $1 million, where's the proof? It's not up to someone to disprove me. I should be the one to prove it. And in a court of law, that's how we work. Innocent till proven guilty. Same thing. If you're going to assert guilt upon someone else, a prosecutor in this case, there must be proof of that. This, of course, is the same fallacy when people say, oh, prove that God doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if I can't. But let's amuse the question, okay? If God really is omniscient, and this is a logical contradiction inherent, I'm just going to give you a little disclaimer so you understand what's going on. This is a logical contradiction within the definition of God. If God is omniscient, then He's unchanging, He's immutable. And the reason that is because if someone's omniscient, there is no experience, there is no knowledge that you could inject into that consciousness that would ever prompt a change. Because whatever you would present this mind with, it would already have. So it's anyone who's omniscient is by definition unchanging. What this means is that it would be impossible for God to go from a state of not wanting to make something, not wanting to do something, to a state of wanting to do something. It would render God completely inert. It's a nonsensical idea for someone to be omniscient, because that takes away one of the key attributes that a conscious mind has once you do that. Because of course one of the biggest things that defines a living creature is its ability to analyze, its ability to change. Of course the human mind is developed to attack problems at a single way. It deals with problems one by one. And of course, this is how you get personalities that emerge because of genetics, because of environment, this process. So of course the next thing we have to get to is, how do you define God? For those of you who don't define Him as being omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, let's have this question. What makes your God a God? You've placed an arbitrary limit and onto when someone becomes a god. And I'll use this in illustration to show my point. If ants, hypothetically, try to be imaginative here, if ants were conscious and they worshipped humans as gods, we are immensely powerful. We are, in comparison, there's just no real comparison there. You could say, oh, hypothetically, there might be a being similar to that in comparison to humans. Doesn't mean they're God. Doesn't mean that at all. You've just set an arbitrary standard for when something is a God or when it is not. That's hubristic. That's not a real justification for anything. This idea of needing to define your God is extremely important, because nothing exists with indeterminate attributes. It's impossible for something to have trait A and not have trait A simultaneously. So this is the first thing that a theist must do. They must first define their God, which I've never heard anyone sensically do that. It's always vague, and then after they present a vague definition, they always talk about what God would want. Pretty ironic. That's how you can tell they're being egotistical in their analysis. That's how you can tell they're being hubristic, because they claim that God is beyond knowing, yet then they go on to say everything that God knows. Have you ever noticed that? It's hypocritical, I know. Anyway, for all those watching, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll be posting more videos, stand-up videos. You'll see my other video on here. And yeah, I'll also be posting other comedy videos that won't be stand-up. Maybe. Maybe not. I think I probably will, though. Anyway, till the next video, guys. See you later.